Okay. So I have just for a background, the Google Maps location, so that you can see an idea of where this location is. So we're looking to extend the existing trail, which ends near the Fall River line right now, between the two pond locations, and to connect it to Route 6 near the Old Bedford Road intersection. So we came up with the three alternatives with two different location layouts, one following along the pond to the south and another moving over closer to the roadway. And then we have the third alternate, which is following the pond to the south, but with the potential for installing boardwalk if to compare it to earth adding more earth to improve the path profile. So this is option number one, following along the pond's edge and going behind the existing building here and picking back up at Route 6 near the intersection with Old Bedford Road, following that option. And then we've looked at different locations for the crossing to connect any of the pedestrians or bike users to the existing sidewalk trail area on the other side of Route 6. So right now we are anticipating the need for a signalized intersection here at this location. And there is an existing bus stop right here, but it's not very well protected at all. It's just a sign kind of on the side. So we are looking at what upgrades we would need for leveling landing areas for passengers getting on and off of the bus there at that stop. We also looked at feasibility of an option following along the roadway. There is a bit of a swale in this area off to here, so we're looking to avoid that or different ways to cross over it following the roadway around the existing utility structure. So far, the feedback that we've received is that following along the pond is definitely preferred. But our next steps for the feasibility of the options is to host a public meeting and get some additional feedback, and then move forward for there with the plans and our implementation report.
And just to add a little bit of background to why we chose such a small, or why the project is such a small segment of trail. The South Coast Bikeway was still being discussed between New Bedford, Dartmouth, and Westport for the routing alternatives when we submitted for a Mass Trails grant. And so we wanted to start making some progress locally on Westport's contribution while the three municipalities coalesced around a routing alternative. And so now I think that there's support from the three municipalities to go up Old Bedford Road and Old Fall River Roads. South Coast Bikeways is applying for that with support of the municipalities. So where the terminus is, where there was the crosswalk Emma was talking about, that's where the next iteration of planning would pick up to continue that bikeway.
Oh, sorry. I'm hopefully that part wasn't muted, but thank you, Emma and Michael. It's a small piece, but it's a critical piece. And from a tip perspective, the smaller the project is, the easier it is to slide it in holes that we might have in funding. So there's no such thing as too small for a tip project. We love to see projects like this. I do have one question. Rita, Emma, or Michael, you're talking about putting in a signalized intersection. Do you mean like a signalized, like overhead hawk system crosswalk, or did you mean like a full signalized intersection at the Old Bedford Road intersection with Route 6?
We're looking at a full signalized intersection. There is the road diet that's ongoing a little further east of this project, that we're anticipating it to continue through. Further down this project, here's 2 lanes, but then it goes down to 1 lane in each direction. So if the road diet does continue down this area, moving it to, if there's 1 travel lane in each direction, then multiple traffic signal warrants are met. And with the anticipated increase of use of pedestrians and bicyclists using this trail to connect, it seems like the safest option to protect everyone there going through that.